Hello. Before we get into today's discussion, if you enjoy conversations about choir singing, music, rehearsals, and how we can become better musicians together, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and it means you won't miss more of our choir and music related discussions. Now let me tell you a story. Imagine this. A new singer joins your choir. During the first rehearsals, everybody immediately notices this person. Beautiful voice, powerful voice, excellent range. The singer can reach the high notes comfortably and has a lovely tone, and perhaps even has years of experience singing solos. After rehearsals, people already started talking. Wow, what a voice! The choir director is excited, the other choir members are excited, and everybody thinks, we've just gained an amazing choir singer. But a few weeks later, something interesting starts happening. Whenever the choir sings softly, you can still hear one voice above everyone else. When the conductor asked the section to reduce the volume, this particular singer continues singing strongly. When everyone takes a breath together, this singer breathes somewhere else. When the choir pronounces a word in a particular way, the singer uses a different vowel sound. And during the certain passages, instead of listening to other singers, this person seemed determined to make sure that their beautiful voice is heard. Then the choir director begins to realize something. We have a very good singer, but perhaps not yet a very good choir singer. Spot the difference. And that brings us to today's discussion. Why don't good singers always make good choir singers? The answer is quite simple. Because singing well and singing well in a choir are not exactly the same skill. A choir is not a collection of soloists. When you're singing a solo, the attention is drawn on you, your interpretation, your voice, your phrasing, your expression, and your personality. But when you join the choir, something has to change. You are no longer asking, how beautiful does my voice sound? You should be asking, how well does my voice fit into the sound of the choir? And that is the difference. This difference is very important. Imagine 20 singers standing together and every single person is trying to prove that they have the best voice. What would naturally happen? You wouldn't really have a choir. You would have 20 people competing with each other. A good choir requires something different. It requires people who are willing to listen to each other. Sometimes you really have to hold back. Let's go back to our talented new singer that just joined the choir. Suppose the choir director says, tenor, bring your volume down. I need to hear more of the altos here. But our singer thinks, I can sing this note beautifully, so why should I reduce my voice? That is where the problem begins. In choir singing, sometimes you may be capable of giving 100%, but the music only requires 50% from you at a particular moment. Being able to control your voice is just as important as being able to produce a powerful sound. A mature singer understands that you don't always have to prove what your voice can do. Sometimes the most musical thing you can do is sing less. You must learn to listen. And here is another situation. Our talented singer knows the note perfectly. So once the music starts, the singer simply sings. But there's one problem. They are not really listening. Choir singers require a lot of listening. You have to listen to the person beside you, your section, the other voice part, and the accompaniment at the same time. You have to watch the conductor. That's a lot happening at once. A choir singer isn't simply producing sound. A choir singer is constantly adjusting. You might think my note is correct, but if your vowel is different from everyone else, the sound may still not blend. Your notes might be correct, but perhaps you are too loud. Your reading might be correct, but perhaps your consonant is arriving before everyone else. This is why listening is such an important part of choir singing. Blend is more important than being heard. This is something I believe every choir member should understand. You don't have to hear yourself individually. In fact, When a choir is blending beautifully, sometimes your voice almost disappears into the collective sound, and that's a good thing. Think about adding sugar to a cup of tea. Once the sugar dissolves, you don't see the individual grains anymore, but you can taste the difference. That's similar to a good choir singing. Your voice contributes to the overall sound without necessarily drawing attention to itself. If someone listening to the choir can constantly point out one individual voice, unless that person is singing a solo, there may be a balance or blending problem. Good choir singers follow. A talented singer might also be very experienced. Perhaps they've performed many solos and have their own ideas about tempo and phrasing. That's wonderful. But in a choir, there is a conductor. If the conductor wants the phrase to move in a particular direction, the choir needs to move together. You cannot decide, I prefer it slower, while everyone else is following. If the conductor cuts everybody off and you're still singing, you have a problem. A choir singer needs musical ability, but also discipline. Knowing your part is not enough. Some singers believe that once they know all their notes, their job is finished. Not quite. Knowing your notes is just the beginning. You also need to know when to breathe, how to pronounce the words, what dynamic you're singing, where the phrase is going, and where the sound should become stronger, when you should reduce your volume, when other sections are doing what the conductor is asking for. All of these things turn correct notes into music. The best choir singer may not have the biggest voice, and this is perhaps the most interesting part. Sometimes the best choir singer in a section isn't the person with the most impressive voice. It might be the person who listens exceptionally well, watches the conductor, and learns the music before the rehearsals, and can adjust their volume immediately. It might be the person who helps stabilize the section without trying to dominate it. The person who knows when to sing strongly and when to disappear into harmony. That singer might never receive the biggest applause, trust me, but remove that person from the section and suddenly everybody starts noticing that something is missing. This is the value of a good choir singer. So, does having a beautiful voice not matter? Of course it matters. A beautiful, well-trained voice is a wonderful asset to any choir. The point isn't that strong singers made bad choir members. Not at all. The point is that a good voice alone is not enough. The ideal situation is to have both a good choir singer and at the same time being a good singer. Someone who has vocal ability but also understands teamwork. Someone who has confidence but also has control. Someone who can lead when necessary and can blend when necessary. Someone who doesn't need to be the loudest voice in the room to know that they are contributing. So let's return to the singer from the beginning of our story. That singer doesn't need to leave the choir, and the choir director doesn't need to stop appreciating that beautiful voice. What that singer needs to learn is how to transform an individual talent into an assembled skill. Once that happens, something wonderful occurs. The powerful voice is still there, the beautiful tone is still there, the confidence is still there, but now the singer is listening, blending, watching, adjusting, and supporting. And suddenly, a good singer has become a good choir singer. So I'll leave you with this question. What do you think is more important in a choir? A beautiful individual voice or the ability to blend with everyone else? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another choir member. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.